Welcome to Friendly Frenzy Games. In this video, we will highlight our first set of tips for beginners in the Long Dark. Our first tip is to choose the right difficulty for new players. Our suggestion would be to play on Voyager. Voyager is a happy medium between exploration and survival. While you're exploring in Voyager, you'll come across a lot of tooling and equipment, which makes it much easier to begin the game. Voyager is also a great difficulty to get to know the wildlife in the Long Dark. You'll come across wildlife like wolves, bears, moose, and even cougars, but they're not in the game yet. If wildlife like wolves get too close to you, they will attack you, so just be prepared to keep a safe distance if you're not ready to engage. One of the most important things you need to learn about the Long Dark is understanding the region that you're in and where to go to find shelter. That is why tip number 2 to us is to learn a few regions. Our favorite 2 regions for new players would be Coastal Highway and Mystery Lake. These 2 regions provide a ton of shelter and also a ton of lootable locations. Some of our favorite locations to loot in Mystery Lake include the camp office, the Carter Hydro Dam, the fishing cabins by the lake, and you can also loot Trapper's Homestead. Coastal Highway has a couple good locations as well. One of our favorite spots to loot in Coastal Highway is the Quonset Garage, and there's a ton of little fishing cabins and fishing huts that you can loot. You can also loot the top of the Rabbit Island house, as well as some of the other cabins that are spread along the lake. That brings us to tip number 3, and that is to set up a base. Once you've found a region that you like to spend time in, we highly suggest keeping any of your extra gear in a central location. When it comes to choosing a base, try and prioritize finding a place with a workbench. You're going to want to do crafting in the Long Dark once you start hunting, and having access to your cured items and being able to work on the workbench and craft that item will save you so much time. Tip number 4 is how to craft using hide and guts. Slaying wildlife in the Long Dark is going to provide you with 3 things. You're always going to get the meat, you're going to get the guts, and you're going to get the hide from that wildlife. Once you take that hide indoors and drop it on the ground, it's going to begin curing. Now, depending on what the wildlife was, it's going to take a ranging amount of days. Once the hides and the guts are fully cured to craft an item, you can take those necessary items to a workbench and go to the crafting tab, choose the item you want to start crafting, and begin crafting. One of the other crafting materials you want to keep your eye out for is birch saplings and maple saplings. You're going to need these to make the bow and arrows in the Long Dark. And that is going to wrap up our very first The Long Dark beginner tip video for new players. We hope that some of these tips will help you make it further in survival, and stay tuned for more of these coming soon. Thanks for checking the video out, guys. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.